Today's topic is on optimal randomized algorithm. Okay, already explained about some of the topics in the unit 3. So the topics covered in the unit 3 are the greedy method, the general method, knapsack problem, job sequencing with deadlines, already explained. So minimum cost spanning trees. In minimum cost spanning tree, we have the algorithms. The algorithms are Prim's algorithm and Krishkal algorithm. So Prim's algorithm and Krishkal algorithm already explained what is a Prim's algorithm and what is a Krishkal algorithm with an algorithm, and also the analysis and the differences between Prim's algorithm and Krishkal's algorithm in the previous class. So in the Prim's algorithm, we are using the vertex, and always we want to consider the direct edges from that particular vertex, and which one costs less or least cost edges. Always we are selecting and continuing from that. In the Krishkal algorithm, we are considering the forest. That is, a forest consists of several trees. So we are beginning. And in the Krishkal algorithm, always we are arranging the edges with the least cost weight in increasing order. That is from low cost edge to the high cost edge. So we are arranging the edges according to their cost in increasing order in the queue, in the priority queue. So already explained both these algorithms, that is Prim's algorithm and Krishkal's algorithm, both are used to find the minimum cost spanning trees. So the next topic is an optimal randomized algorithm in the unit 3. So we have the what is a randomized algorithm and its motivation. So what is a randomized algorithm? What is a random? Random means already in our computer programming, we have used the random number generation in probability and statistics queuing theory. Also about random numbers we studied. So in Quicksort, to find a pivot element, we can use the randomized algorithm. Now, what is a randomized algorithm? See, mainly we have deterministic algorithm and randomized algorithm. So already you know about deterministic algorithm. In the deterministic algorithm, we have an algorithm and given input. So this input is given to the algorithm, then you will get the output for that particular algorithm. Now, when you consider the output as well as the running time are functions only of the input. So, when you consider the output is a function of input that is given to the algorithm. Now, see the randomized algorithm. So, what is a randomized algorithm? In a randomized algorithm, we are giving the input to the algorithm. At the same time, the random bits are also considered in the algorithm to get the output. So the output or the running time are functions of the input and random bits chosen. What are the random bits chosen? That means based on that, the output of the algorithm depends. So in the deterministic algorithm, the output depends on only input, whereas in the randomized algorithm, the output depends on the random bits which we are using in the algorithm and also the input. Now, types of randomized algorithms. So what are the different types of randomized algorithms? See, randomized algorithm means it uses the random number in its during its computation. In its logic, it uses the random numbers. Suppose, for example, quicksort algorithm. In a quicksort algorithm, we are using the pivot element. So based on the pivot, we are scanning from left to right and right to left. We are using the pointers I and J. I scans from left to right, J scans from right to left. So based on that, the concept of or basic idea of quicksort, always we want to rearrange the elements such that all the elements which are less than the value of pivot will be placed at the left, and which are more than the value of pivot can be placed at the right. So pivot is the element. Based on that, we are partitioning the quicksort array elements. So here we have the types of randomized algorithms. Okay, randomized Las Vegas algorithms. So in the randomized algorithms, we have two types of algorithms. Okay, in the randomized algorithms, we have two types of algorithms. That is randomized Las Vegas algorithm. See, the randomized Las Vegas algorithm, we have the output is always the correct. That means we should get the output which one is always correct. Okay, the output is always correct. That means you are giving the random bits, you are giving the input to the algorithm, Las Vegas algorithm, then the whatever output you got, that is always the correct output. In the case of running time, it is a random variable. So random variable means it is a random. So whatever value you got, that is you can't expect. That means you can't estimate previously. Now see the Monte Carlo algorithm. See, good example for Las Vegas algorithms is randomized quicksort algorithm. So randomized quicksort algorithm, we are using the algorithm for selecting the pivot element in the quicksort algorithm. Okay, randomized Monte Carlo algorithms. Output may be incorrect with some probability. So output you will not get correct output. Another one is running time is deterministic. Running time is deterministic. So randomized algorithm for approximate median. You want to find a median of the given array elements approximately, then you can use this randomized algorithm. This is a one example where we are using the randomized algorithms. So Las Vegas algorithm, good example is randomized quicksort. For Monte Carlo algorithms, the good example is randomized algorithm for approximate median. In the case of Las Vegas algorithm, the output is always correct. In the case of Monte Carlo algorithm, maybe incorrect sometimes. So here in our optimized randomized algorithm, so we are using the Las Vegas algorithm. So randomized algorithms. What are randomized algorithms? A randomized algorithm is just one that depends on random numbers for its operation. So randomized algorithm depends on random numbers. So already you know in your programming, you know about random numbers. So a randomized algorithm is just one that depends on the random numbers for its operation. These are randomized algorithms. Suppose using random numbers to help find a solution to a problem. Now we want to find a solution to a problem. We can use the random numbers. Another thing is we can also use the random numbers to improve a solution to a problem. So for improving the solution to a problem or for finding the solution to a problem, we can use random numbers. So generating the random numbers. The best way of generating random numbers is by the linear congruential method. See this method, R equal to A multiplied by R plus B mod M. Percentage operator indicates mod M, that is the remainder when you divide with M. A and B are the large prime numbers. M is 2 power 32 or 2 power 64. So the initial value of R is called the seed. So what is the initial value of R? We are taking the seed element, the starting element, at the initial value of R. If you start over with the same seed, you get the same sequence of random numbers. Random number sequence is also same. When you start with same element, same seed means same element, same number. If you start, then you will get the same sequence of random numbers. So advantage of linear congruential method is that it will cycle through all possible numbers. That means whatever numbers we have possible numbers, so it will select in a cycle. That means once it is selected all the random numbers, then it will select the same random numbers again. These are complex mathematical tests for randomness, which you should know if you want to roll your own. So you can also develop your own random number generation also. So what is the motivation for randomized algorithms? Why we are using the randomized algorithms? Randomized algorithm for a problem is simple and more efficient than its deterministic counterpart. So we have deterministic algorithms and randomized algorithms. Randomized algorithms are simpler. Comparing with deterministic algorithms, randomized algorithms are more efficient also, more efficient and simple. That is why we are going the randomized algorithms. We are using the randomized algorithms. So our main topic is an optimal randomized algorithm. So what is this optimal randomized algorithm? Already you know what is a randomized algorithm, just explained. Now optimal means feasible solution, that means the following the constraints and also the best one, that is a optimal. So any algorithm for finding the minimum cost spanning tree of a given graph g of v comma e will have to span omega of v plus e time in the worst case. So when you consider any algorithm for finding the minimum cost spanning tree, you want to find the minimum cost spanning tree for a given graph, then it is g of v comma e is the original graph. How much time is needed in the worst case? That is omega of number of vertices plus number of edges. So number of vertices plus number of edges together gives that time complexity, worst case time complexity. Since it has to examine each node and each edge at least once before determining the correct answer. That means nodes, a graph, when you say, by definition, a graph consists of vertices and edges. So how many number of vertices are there? How many number of edges are there? So each node and each edge and each vertex need to be visited once. So that is why in the worst case, the time complexity of minimum spanning tree finding algorithm is omega of v plus number of vertices plus number of edges. Now, already explained what is the Las Vegas algorithm briefly. In Las Vegas algorithm, you will get the correct output. So in the Las Vegas algorithm is used in our optimized randomized algorithms. So a randomized Las Vegas algorithm that runs in time big O of v plus e can be performed. So big O of number of vertices plus number of edges. So what is this randomized Las Vegas algorithm? See, randomly sample m edges from the given graph for some suitable m. What is the meaning of this one? We are sampling, we are taking some number of edges, m number of edges from the given graph G. Randomly taking m number of edges from the given graph G. Let in the second step, let G dash be the induced subgraph, that is G dash has V as its node set and the sample D edges in its edge set, sample number of edges and some number of nodes. V as its nodes set and sample edges in its edge set. Some number of edges are taken from the original graph. The subgraph G dash need not be connected. It may be connected or not connected. That is a secondary case. But we are taking some number of edges in the subgraph. So recursively find a minimum cost spanning tree for each component of G dash. For each one, we can continue to find the minimum cost spanning tree. So Las Vegas algorithm, the third step is using F, eliminate certain edges called the F heavy edges. F heavy edges means in a graph, there are several number of edges are there. Out of these edges, which edges are more costly, more expensive? Those edges, we are saying F heavy edges. F heavy edges of G should be eliminated. That cannot possibly be in a minimum cost spanning tree L. Now let G double dash be the graph that results from G after elimination of the F heavy edges. That means we are constructing a graph G double dash. In G double dash graph, all the F heavy edges, that is more expensive edges, should be removed. So recursively find a minimum cost spanning tree for G double dash. So G double dash is the minimum cost spanning tree. Now we want to construct. Original graph is G. So this will also be a minimum cost spanning tree for G. Okay, original graph is G, and we are selecting some sample edges from the original graph G and removing the heavy cost, heavy expensive edges, and we want to construct a minimum cost spanning tree for G double dash. Constructing the minimum cost spanning tree for the G double dash will also be a minimum cost spanning tree for G. So always we try to construct the minimum cost spanning tree. In this, we are using the randomized algorithm. Already explained the Kruskal algorithm and Prim's algorithm for minimum cost spanning tree. But in that algorithms, those algorithms are deterministic algorithms. But here we are using the randomized algorithm. This randomized algorithm is, in randomized algorithm, there are two types: Las Vegas algorithm and Monte Carlo algorithm. We are using the Las Vegas algorithm in our optimized minimum spanning tree construction. So these are the 4 steps in the Las Vegas algorithm. So by using the Las Vegas algorithm, we are constructing the minimum cost spanning tree. In this, some of the edges are taken from the original graph G. So steps 1 to 3 are useful in reducing the number of edges in the graph G. See, 1 to 3 means first step, randomly sampling the M edges and finding the G dash subgraph by selecting the sample edges. And third step is eliminating the F heavy edges, that is more expensive edges. So 1 to 3 steps, by using these 1 to 3 steps, we can reduce the number of edges in the graph, original graph G. The algorithm can be speeded up further if we can reduce the number of nodes in the input graph as well. That means in the given graph, if you reduce the number of vertices or the number of nodes, then the algorithm can be speeded up. That means you can execute that particular algorithm at a faster rate. So such a node elimination can be effected using the Bohr-Vickers steps. So we are using the Bohr-Vickers steps. By using this Bohr-Vickers steps, we can eliminate such a node can be eliminated. So in a Bohr-Vickers step, for each node, an incident edge with the minimum weight is chosen. That means what we are doing in the Bohr-Vickers step, each node in the graph, in a graph there are several nodes are there. For each node, an incident edge, that means the edge connecting this particular node with the minimum weight is chosen. That means always we are selecting the edge with less cost, least cost. Now see the Bohr-Vickers step for minimum spanning tree construction example. So what is this Bohr-Vickers step? Just see the figure, observe for 1 minute. What is going on is shown in this figure. See in the figure, the edge 1, 3 is chosen for node 1. We have selected the edge 1, 3, 1 to 3 with thick lines you are representing. That is a less expensive, least cost. See, 2 is the least cost. 3 is also a next least cost, next minimum edge. So we are selecting 1 to 3. So sample edges we are selecting. So 1 to 3 edge is selected. Chosen for node 1. For the node 1, we have selected this one. The edge 6, 7 is chosen for node 7. See this one. See this one. This is one edge. This is 1 comma 3 is another edge. 1 comma 3. 6 comma 7. We selected. All the chosen edges are shown with thick lines. So we are representing all these edges with the thick lines. See 1 to 3, 2 to 3, another edge. From 3, you have connected to 2, that is cos 4, that is another edge. In the same way, 4 from 4 vertex, you are connected to 5, that cos only 2. This is another edge. So like this, all these are thick lines, edges with thick lines are represented and selected in our Borovica steps. So the connected components of the induced graph are found. So in this example, the nodes 1, 2, and 3 form one component. See, observe 1, 2, and 3. All these three together is a one component. One component. 1, 2, and 3. Thick lines. 1 to 3, one edge, 2 to 3, another edge. The nodes 4 and 5 form a second component. 4 and 5. Check this. 4 and 5. Vertex 4 and vertex 5. These two 4, 5 edge is a one component. Now see next one. Nodes 6 and 7 form another component. Nodes 6 and 7. So 6, 7 edge is another component. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3 is one component. And 4 and 5, 4, 5 edge is another component. 6, 7 is another component. We have taken the least cost edges selected and the sampled edges we selected. According to our Las Vegas algorithm, we are selecting the sampled edges. So replace each component with a node, single node, with a single node. See here, 1, 2, 3. This is a one component. This entire component 1, 2, 3 together we can consider as a A. A is the name of this component. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3 edges are there. All these three vertices together is a A. Single node A. The component with nodes 1, 2, and 3 is replaced with node A. The other components are replaced with nodes B and C. See here, 4 and 5 together. There is a one edge. This component you can take as B. So this component you can take as C. Like this, we have divided the entire graph and by selecting the sample edges into three components A, B, and C. Now the edges in the individual components, we can throw away those edges. See the resultant graph in figure B. This is the figure B. Now see the resultant graph from this. Keep only an edge of minimum weight between any two nodes and delete any isolated nodes. So see here, figure B, how you got this entire thing is A. So we have taken it as A. And from 3 to 4, there is an edge 6. We are representing from A to B, there is an edge 6, cos 6. So 2 to 4, there is an edge 8 with cost. So cost of this edge from A to B is 8. Now 2 to 5, the cost is 6. Now represent from A to B with cost 6. So like this, now see this one, entire component is B, and from B to C, the component C, there is an edge 5 to 6, 5 comma 6, that is 9. So you can add B to C 9. In the same way, 4 to 7, there is an edge that is with cost 11. So B C 11. Now check this one, from component A to component C, there is an edge with 8. So you can connect A and C with an edge with an arc labeled 8, the cost 8. So in this way, we have constructed the figure B from the original graph A. Total original graph is figure A. Now we want to construct further improving this figure B, that is figure C. See here, from A to B, there are three edges. One edge is with 6, another edge with 8, another edge with 6. Out of 6, 8, 6. You need to consider the minimum cost edge, least cost edge. So that is from A to B, it is 6. So we are representing A to B 6. Cost is 6. In the same way, from A to C, the cost is 8. From C to B, the cost is 9. Since out of 9 and 11, 9 is the smaller value, so you can place 9 here. So in this way, by using the Las Vegas algorithm and Borovica steps, we are constructing the minimum spanning tree. So we have selected an edge for every node. The number of nodes after one Borovica step reduces by a factor of at least 2. See here in our figure C, how many number of nodes are there? See how many number of nodes are there in the figure C? Only 3 nodes are there, A, B, C. In the original figure, how many number of nodes are there? There are 7 nodes. So number of nodes are reduced to by 2 almost. That is only 3 nodes. 7 nodes in the original graph, those are reduced to 3 nodes in the resulting minimum spanning tree graph. So number of nodes after one Borovica step reduces by a factor of at least 2. So a minimum cost spanning tree for the original graph, for the reduced graph, can be extended easily to get a minimum cost spanning tree for the original graph. If E dash is the set of edges in the minimum cost spanning tree of the reduced graph, that is our reduced graph is figure C. E dash is the set of edges. We simply include into the E dash the edges chosen in the Borovica step to obtain the minimum cost spanning tree edges for the original graph. A minimum cost spanning tree for, see here, a minimum cost spanning tree for the reduced graph can be extended easily to get a minimum cost spanning tree for the original graph. If E dash is the set of edges, E dash is the number of edges, all these edges in the minimum cost spanning tree of the reduced graph, simply include it into E dash. Now we are including in the E dash the edges chosen in the Borovica step to obtain the minimum cost spanning tree edges for the original graph. So graph is given, and we have applied the randomized algorithm and Borovica steps, and we have reduced the number of nodes and number of sampled edges. Minimum cost spanning tree for C will consist of the edges A comma B and B comma C. See here in our figure, A comma B value is 6, B comma C value is 9. So A comma B, B comma C. This is the minimum cost spanning tree. So finally, a minimum cost spanning tree for the graph of A, that is original figure, will have the edges. Just check the edges. This one. See here in our figure, A means 1 comma 3, 3 comma 2. Same thing is written here, 1 comma 3, 3 comma 2. See here, B means in the figure, check it, 4 comma 5. So that particular 4 comma 5 is written here. Now in the original figure, we have C. C means 6 and 7, 6 comma 7. So 6 comma 7 means we are using here 6 comma 7. So 3 4 2 6, 3 4 2 comma 6, another one. These two are also connecting, these two. So 3 4 means component A to component B. This is 3 to 4. This one 6 edge. In the same way, here also component B to component C it is 9, and component A to component C it is 8. So cost less 8. So you are selecting component A to component 2 to component A to component C. The edge cost is 8. We are selecting that particular one. So an optimal randomized algorithm. Optimal randomized algorithm. See the apply two Borovica steps at the end. The number of nodes will have decreased by a factor of at least 4. So let the resultant graph be G of V comma E. So apply the two Borovica steps. We are applying the Borovica steps, and finding the number of nodes will have decreased by a factor at least 4. So finally the result graph be G of V comma E. So form a subgraph G dash. We want to find the subgraph G dash, V dash comma E dash is the subgraph. V dash is the vertices in the subgraph. E dash is the edges in the subgraph of G, where each edge of G is chosen randomly to be in E dash, to be in E dash. E dash is the set of edges. Whatever edges are there, those edges are in E dash with the probability 1 by 2. That means 50% chance that to get the edge from the original graph G. The expected number of edges in E dash is E divided by 2. Number of edges divided by 2. So next in step 3, we have recursively find a minimum cost spanning forest F for G dash. For G dash, we are finding the minimum cost spanning forest. That is subgraph. So in the step 4, eliminate all the F heavy edges from G bar. That means F heavy edges means more expensive edges you can eliminate from the original graph. With high probability, at least a constant fraction of the edges of G will be eliminated. Let G double dash be the resultant graph. Finally, the resultant graph is G double dash. Now in the step 5, compute a minimum cost spanning tree. Call it T double dash for G double dash recursively. Finally, we are calculating the minimum cost spanning tree. The tree T double dash will also be a minimum cost spanning tree for G. Now return the edges of T double dash together with the edges chosen in the Borvika steps of step 1. These are the edges of a minimum cost spanning tree for G. So return the edges of T double dash. That means spanning tree, resulting spanning tree edges we want to return. Together with the edges chosen in the Borvika steps of step 1. That means we have applied the Borvika step. On that we have selected some edges. Number of nodes we are decreasing. So these are the edges of a minimum cost spanning tree for G, graph G. So finally we are finding the minimum cost spanning tree. So what is our main aim? By optimizing, by with the help of optimized randomization generation algorithm, optimal randomized algorithm, we want to find the minimum cost spanning tree. This minimum cost spanning tree is having less number of edges and less number of nodes comparing with the given original graph G. So what is the theorem in this problem in our minimum cost spanning tree? Let G of V comma E be any weighted graph and let F be a subgraph of G. F is the subgraph of the original graph G that forms a forest. F can be formed as a forest. Then all the F heavy edges of G can be identified in time. Big O of number of vertices plus number of edges. So F heavy edges means more expensive edges identified within the time big O of V plus E. So those edges you can eliminate in the subgraph. Since our spanning tree is a subgraph, see the theorem, a minimum weight spanning tree for any given weighted graph can be computed in time big O of number of vertices plus number of edges. That is minimum weight spanning tree for any given weighted graph, any original graph given can be computed. We can calculate in time. What is the time for calculation of minimum weight spanning tree? That is big O of number of vertices plus number of edges. Okay, this is about optimized randomization algorithm. See the syllabus given in the syllabus of unit 3. You can see an optimized randomized algorithm. So briefly, what is a optimal randomized algorithm? This is an algorithm using the random sampling of edges so that the number of edges can be reduced and the nodes also we can reduce so that the algorithm can be executed at a fast rate. So improving the our deterministic minimum cost spanning tree algorithm by using the optimal randomized algorithm. So we are using the optimal randomized algorithm. Okay, this is the main aim our lecture today. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about optimal merge patterns. This is the last but one topic in our syllabus. Okay, thank you, dear students.